Hi, it's Joe Wiesner Realty with the Mega Agent Tip. So many agents want to know the truth about real estate, even if it's opposite of what they may think they know. So today I put together another video to debunk some of the more common myths, not all of them, but some of the more common myths about being a successful real estate agent. So I know a little bit about real estate. I've been in it for 27 years. So I do have a lot of experience in what works and what may not work, and I could save you a lot of time. But first, I have a question for you. What real estate building topics, what questions do you have about building your real estate business? So I have been at the forefront of experimenting with all the marketing possibilities in real estate, and I know what works and frequencies and things like that could be very helpful to you. This video and all my channels were created to help real estate agents have long, prosperous, and profitable and fulfilling careers. So I've been in it for a long time, and I've never been more excited about what's going on in real estate than right now. Huge opportunity. So I want to know how to help you best. So go ahead and leave me a comment below and tell me what you want to learn more about. Then make sure you keep an eye on this channel to see when your question is featured and answered. And I'm looking forward to answering as many questions as agents have, because they have tons and tons of questions. You know, how do you market? How frequently? How do you do a contract? How do you create more and more business? So I'm very excited to be able to answer those questions for you. So back to today's topic, and I'm going to talk about 5 myths that are in real estate with agents and what their perceptions are, especially coming in as a new agent, but even experienced agents kind of get lost sometimes. So number 1 is that it's an easy business. Well, the only easy thing about real estate is getting into it. The bar of entry is so low. You go to real estate school, and you could even do it online now. 75 hours, you pass the tests, you get fingerprinted, and voila, you're an agent. But are you really? You're just licensed is what you are, and real estate school is great for teaching you the legal aspects of it, but in actuality, how to build a business really doesn't teach you much at all. So it's anything but easy to build a real estate business. As a matter of fact, it's easier to have a successful restaurant than it is to be a successful real estate agent. And most of the real estate agents that pass the test in the first year, half of them are out of the business within that year. They sell absolutely nothing. So everybody has different intentions, and I know this. But agents that really want to make it a career, even those agents, half of them just don't make it in the first year. And then after 3 years, 88% of agents that passed the test and went into the business, hung their license with a broker, they're out of the business. So to debunk that myth, it's anything but an easy business. So, but there's things that you could certainly do to compress the time and, walk in the path and in the shoes of somebody that's already, walked the minefields. And that'll help compress the time for you to really become successful in business, in real estate. Number 2 is, I think that there is a myth out there that, well, there's easy money and quick money in real estate. And again, you have to be prepared to weather the first, say, 6 months of real estate. Because guess what? Even if you are an incredible prospector and you are excellent with the customers right out of the gate, and you get a property under contract, well, it still might take you 30 days, especially in this very competitive market, to get a house under contract. Then the typical close time is another 45 days. And the other reality is that anything could happen in real estate at any time. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But you have to be prepared with your finances, and you really should have 6 to 12 months of money in reserve that you know that you're going to be able to pay your mortgage, pay your rent, pay your groceries, and all those things that are 100% necessary. So the time frame to actually sell is much elongated. And what happens also in real estate is that a rookie agent gets so transfixed on trying to get through the deal because this is their first deal. Real estate transactions are complicated and you have things coming at you from all directions. And they're so transfixed on trying to figure out the stuff that they don't know, oftentimes without mentorship. And then they forget to prospect and they forget to fill their pipeline with additional business. And then, okay, they might close that deal, but then there's a gap in their business for another 60 to 90 days. And a lot of that is contributing to the attrition where they just can't make it through that. So it's a balance of all those things, and you have to keep doing the business. And you have time if you allocate your time in the right way to prospect and to make sure all those things happen properly. So that's myth number 2. Another myth is that when you first get into the business, I think agents really do hallucinate what the business is all about. First and foremost, your sales people, right? So you want to be a professional salespeople. And I'm just astonished on how few people study on how to be a great salesperson. And there are just countless books, and I'll do another video on that one day of, some of the best books that I have read that have really helped me in my career. But you got to study your craft. People are not typically born salespeople. So you can learn it and you can perfect it, and there's a ton of great information. And, certainly I'll get into that a little bit further about, how to do it. But there is no perfect real estate deal, right? And I think agents think that everything is, going to be perfect. And every day with every deal that you have, you're going to have things coming at you every single day. So just know that it's your job as the real estate agent to solve the equation, to solve that issue for your buyer or seller. And that's why you get paid the amount that you get paid, which is, handsomely. But you have to be able to solve the problem. If you can't solve the problem, that's when the market will recognize that, and the market will, do what a free market will do, and that will eliminate you if you're not good at solving the problem. So just know that that's a huge myth, that the deals are going to be perfect. You have all kinds of things attached to that, financial issues on potentially both sides. The buyer side could crop up or the seller side could crop up. Oh, well, there's a loan that just appeared on the title work that the seller didn't know about. Big problem, right? The buyer just lost their job. Okay, that's almost every time deal over. So, you have those financial things. You have legal things on title, like boundary lines that are imperfect, that need to be corrected. And then you have the inspection issues that come up all the time. So, there's all of these things that you have to deal with and you're going to need to be able to solve these things. So it gets complicated, but by far the most complicated thing in the real estate transaction is your ability to control the emotions of the buyer and seller, whomever you may represent. And you can't get emotional as the real estate agent. You're the rock, right? You're that steady guiding force in the deal. And a lot of times you have to broach things that are unpleasant. So mainly delivering bad news, right? And if you have bad news, and hopefully you have a solve for it. But guess what? A lot of times in real estate, there is no solve and it's game over. And you have to start all over from square one. So it's the emotion of the deal, which is really, really important. And you need to have empathy in the deal as well. And the experienced agents have that because they know that there's no such thing as perfection. But the rookie agents don't know that out of the gate. So the better that you could master the emotion, your emotion, and your client's emotion, the easier the situation and the deal will be. Number four myth in real estate is that, and this is incredible to me all the time, is that agents woefully underestimate the amount of leads that they need in order to get to the goal, the financial goal that they want to get to in a year. So I think agents believe that they just go out and they're going to talk to a few people and suddenly the business is going to roll in. It doesn't. It could happen like that, I guess, but typically it doesn't. So in order to generate one sale, you need to have on average 40 conversations. And as you become more experienced, that number goes lower. But in the beginning, you might need to do 60 or 70 conversations to be able to transact one deal. But it doesn't stop there. Those are conversations with real buyers and sellers. You need to have leads, right? So not everybody that you're going to call on, email, text, not all of them are going to pick up. And there needs to be constant follow-up. And the agents really don't follow up well in the beginning until they create a system to do that. So you might need to talk to, if it's your sphere of influence, 60 people, right, to get to one sale. But if you're doing social media, you might need to have 200 leads to create one sale. If you're doing open houses, you may need to have 50 or 60 leads to do one transaction. If you're doing Zillow marketing, you might need to spend the money, number one, to be part of that program, but you may need to sort through 50 or 60 leads to get one transaction. So agents have to think much differently about the number of people they need to get in front of and to generate the lead, to generate the customer, to generate the opportunity to present, and the opportunity then to close. So it's quite a process, and agents really underestimate that potential. And finally, and there's a lot more, but I'm going to conclude it on this. I call it too cool for school. So some agents think that they are just too cool to do the fundamentals, like prospecting. And, guess what? A lot of agents may be able to get away with that for a while, especially in a hot market. But as soon as the market cools and the energy in the market, may wane, that's when they become exposed and the weaknesses in their business become exposed. And what I mean by too cool for school is they don't want to prospect, right? They're relying on the referral base, which guess what? There's some agents that can do that. They have huge referral bases and do unbelievably well just working, the referrals that way. But I find that the best practice is to have a strong combination of everything. And the too cool for school things are door knocking, open houses, and maybe circle prospecting, which means phone calls, to do those types of things, in addition to the Instagram marketing and Facebook marketing. In addition to all of the other things that are out there that may cost you money, but these things don't cost you money other than your time. But all of those things need to come together in order to create a very strong brand. And when agents rely on one method of generating leads, but they discount the other methods, especially when there's a downturn in the market, and guess what, guys? Everything is cyclic. Nothing, keeps going up and up and up. Eventually, there will be a leveling of this market. And then that's when you'll see the real estate agents that didn't create the business foundation that had some of these other lead generating and prospecting methods. You'll see that they often are the first to fail and often are the first to leave the business after that happens. So real estate, in conclusion, it's anything but a easy business. But if you could listen to certain people that have been there and know how to prospect and know how to lead generate, this can save you an incredible amount of time and make you a huge amount of money. But at the end of the day is You have to be able to be a great salesperson. And to me, what that means is being a consultant, a great consultant to your buyer and seller, and being that resource where you're recognized by the person that you're representing as the family consultant, the family real estate consultant, just as they would recognize the family doctor and have that kind of trust with you for their real estate interests. So if you create that kind of business, you've created something special. So if you have any questions or would like to leave me a comment, I would love to have your comments. Any questions that you might have, I would be happy to answer any of those. And I only hope that you could have the success that I've felt into the real estate business, and I could certainly help advance you and your career. So feel free to reach out to me on any of the social venues. And of course, my direct number for text and sell is 609-400-3035. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to creating the next video for everyone.